Hey, so I've been playing a little bit with the audio in the mic. Hopefully, this sounds a lot better. Um, so I've been working more and more on this bass. I think at the beginning of the previous episode, I did. I finished up some stuff to do with the control tower and began to go around checking to see what stuff was broken. So since then, I've added on another hanger over here, which I'm using to park three ships, a welding ship, a transport ship with absolutely tons of ion thrusters, and a little ship that's also got tons of thrusters, but it should be able to make it down to the ground of the Earth-like planet and back again, because I've lost a couple of ships attempting that. Anyways, what I'm going to be doing here is, so I got these paths connected between all of the four corners of my station, and I went around and I've already planned these ones out. I do need to use the welding ship to finish them up, but I thought, I've practiced building these things a handful of times, so I think I'm going to go ahead, and now that I've done it 9 times, or wait, it would be 7 times I've done it, because you got the bottom and you got the top. I believe this is the only one that's fully welded up, including the glass. But I got this one right here left, so I thought it would be cool to do it on screen. Not every I'm going to call this a corner building is going to have a gate like this right here, but most of them will, so that I can lock them off from prevent air from escaping. Yeah. So, anyways, without further ado, I gotta jump back and forth between a combination of blocks. It's basically the armor corner and the full armor block, but there's like different variants of each that I gotta use. So what I have right here is the armor corner. You can see part of the thing is missing there. It's not the one I need though. I need to start with this one, and then I go to here. Behind it, I go with the one that it was on when I first started, which is this one. It's missing just a tiny piece. Oop, I almost had it. I still screw up in rotating things around, even though I've been getting lots of practice on it. So it looks like that, and then we basically got to do the same thing again here. There we go. That one, and then a little tiny one, like so, and then this one. There we go. This one. There we go. So now the circle changes shape a little bit right here. So I gotta switch to the full block, but I do the light armor corner from the full block. And then I gotta go to this one, which is the inverted corner, like so. And then we go back and we duplicate this right here again. And go to 4. This one. There we go. Okay, and we jump up to this one, like so. There we go. And now here we got a whole bunch of them that are the corners and the inverted corners of the full block. So first we're going to do the corner. There we go. And then we're going to do an inverted corner. And then we got another corner. And then an inverted corner. Corner. Inverted corner. Corner. And let me see. I think I gotta do one more. No, not that. That would not be correct. So here we got to go back to the light armor corner. Like so. So I'm basically just doing what I did on the other side, but backwards. Hopefully building this is interesting, at least a little bit. First. Go. And then switch back to here. There, and there, and there, and there. There we go. So I had to, yesterday I think it was, I went and I mined a little bit more gold, because another thing I did was I built, so I took apart those little tiny thrusters that were on here and I built big thrusters on here. Because I plan on maneuvering it a little bit closer to my moon base. I want to keep it outside the gravity well, but oop, that's the wrong one. Where am I going here? There. So I built the big thrusters on there so that I can maneuver this thing so it's a little bit closer. I was thinking of moving or extending the space elevator up even so that it would connect directly to this. And maybe I'll do that in the future, but for now, I just want to move it. First of all, so that it's got a better orientation. And second of all, so that it's a little bit closer. Yeah, and then I'm going to have to, after I get everything welded up all the way around, I'm going to have to figure out what I'm going to do, how I'm going to move my solar panels to make it look decent on the side of this thing. Because that's probably going to be a little bit on the difficult side. I don't know. Maybe I'm way over exaggerating. But I have a feeling it's not exactly going to be the easiest thing to do. Go. Ooh. Oh, I'm jumping ahead of myself. This is a flat piece. So I gotta use the half block, like so. The light armor slope of the full block, that's what it's called. And then energy low. And then I would go and I have to recharge. I do have a med bay up in the second floor of the, like, underneath where the control tower is. But eventually I'm going to be putting probably the survival stations. I'm going to put one survival station in each of the four corners. So there'll be one in here, probably like right there or something. I still got to work a little bit on making this more smooth. Making this more smooth to walk through. I originally had just a curved conveyor tube here, but then that wasn't airtight. So I'm not sure what I'm going to have to do there. But back to this. So we are on there, so I need to go this piece, except I need this one. There we go. And this one. Wait a second. This is going to have to be this one. This. And switch back to here. That one. This one. So there we go. And then basically just changes direction. Flips right here. So what I need is I need this, so this, Oh, yeah, that fell right into the line. Another one of these. Four. No. This one. Okay. Here is that. That. 5. There we go. So that's how I built those. This one went fairly quick. Looks like it took me around 17 minutes to do that. The very first one I did, which was the bottom side of this one right here, that took me like 4 hours. So figuring out how to do, granted I was watching TV at the same time, but figuring out how to maneuver the blocks and which direction different things go is quite difficult. I mean, you can kind of look though, ooh, that one's wrong. It looks cool when it's done though. There we go. We'll know for sure everything is good after it's all welded up. This one right here has always got this weird thing on it, but as soon as I weld it, it flattens out and it looks good. So, yeah, like that one there, and then that one. Kind of start to see it starting to take shape. I'm going to use the welding ship to do that though, because then I can fill it with glass and girders, and I can fill it with construction components, so I can finish this door up and motors. Yeah. One other thing I still do need to do is I started by putting these vents in on both sides. So I'm going to have to go through and figure out how I'm going to work that into every setup. So right here I'll probably just pull a tube up and do basically the same thing I did over in that hangar. By just, I guess I can just do it real quick. No, can't be there. So it's gotta be here, and then there. Okay, so then I don't think I have any interior plates in my inventory. Six, a conveyor junction, and so one of the mods I installed, as you might be able to tell, adds more conveyor tubes to the game, which have been nice. There's a couple of times when I've needed them. I did it primarily because I wanted I'll show you in just a moment here. I wanted armored tubes, like these over here, which you can't see from there. Oh, I should be able to drop in here. These tubes right here. So it's just a bare tube, but it's got an armor block around it. I haven't used them more because unfortunately they are see-through. There is a curved version of it, which is kind of cool. But I don't know. I guess that's probably what I could have moved this whole thing over one more and just used that in this one place right here, but I don't know. I decided not to. So now I can place the vent. There is there it is, 9. Let's try and get the orientation correct. And orientation correct. Excellent. So now, once I get all this stuff welded up, which is going to take me a little while yet. Because I still got to figure out exactly how I'm going to do the roof on this one. It's probably going to be very similar to this, except just it's going to be one taller. I'm not sure why I really decided to go with that one taller, but I'm probably sticking with that. You can see those two hangers are not the same height either. Primarily because this hanger is for building ships, whereas that hanger over there is for just letting the batteries recharge and unloading the cargo ship and loading the welding ship. Another thing I added to the game was these extra long hangar doors. So I have a group already set up. Actually, if I close this room, at least it was tight. I had to move the panels, so 1 second. I add overhead and open close and front. There's the front. There we go. Open close. So they're just extra long airtight hangar doors. And because there's a vent up there, as soon as they're fully closed, ooh, I missed something. It was airtight. What did I miss? Maybe one of the pieces of glass. Oh, I bet it's that right there. I don't have those conveyor junctions finished. Let's do that real quick. So what do we need here? We need 4 tubes. So here we're going to need 20 tubes, construction components, and interior plates. I want to figure out if there's some kind of a script that I can use that will not allow that will allow me to depressurize, like the two hangar bays. If I can have like an air tank that doesn't automatically refill right away with oxygen from the O2H2 thing. 1 second. I gotta think for just a moment. I need that. I need 24 of those. I need, I think 40, but let's take 60 just to be sure. And the motors were good. Everything else should have been good. So that's good. And that's good. So now this should be airtight. There we go. Maybe. Oh, I bet one of the other buttons on here was pressurize and depressurize. Triple bay hangar vent. There we go. Depressurize. And that way, because like right now, all the air that's being pumped into here is draining the tanks, which then the O2H2 sensor is immediately trying to fill. So I'm sure there's somebody else has already created a script that does that. Maybe that'll be something I work on in the near future also. So, yeah. Now I can open up my helmet, and I can walk around in the hangar bay, doing some work, fixing stuff. Yeah. So I'll also have to add in here, there will have to be a block that will give me access to the station's inventory so that I can work on stuff if I need to. So, granted, once I finish the rest of the station, I'll be able to walk in and out if the hangar bay doors are closed without having to worry about losing stuff. But now, it's supposed to be depressurizing, but because the tank is has already been refilled from the O2H2 sensor, it won't actually unpressurize the room. So, which is too bad, because now that's all lost. But not the end of the world. Yeah, it's starting to come together, starting to look kind of cool. I'm going to have some catwalks that go underneath here because, like, here's storage and here's refineries, all with yield upgrades. So there's 4 yield upgrades on each of the refineries, which I believe, according to what I read, doubles the output of the refineries. Yeah. So storage, refineries. This one, I haven't fully decided what I'm going to do yet. I'm thinking I can put some assemblers right here. So this will be where the actual things are like manufactured. And then over here, I started putting batteries here in preparation for removing the batteries that are attached here. Because I have a huge bank of batteries, because I primarily rely on solar panels to power this station. I might actually even have power cells. Nope, I have not. So I can probably go here and power cells. Power cells. There we go. So that's enough for 5 batteries. But we're missing stuff. So I'm going to have to use the transport and head down to the moon. And actually, something. How long has my recording been going? It's 30 minutes, so I should probably end it here. But I added onto this platform. So now I only have to come down to here with my transport ship. So I can park my transport ship right here, and then I can load it, and then I can just go right back up to the station. Which is, this is at 1900 meters from the ground. So this is nearly 2 kilometers from the ground. But in order to get out of the gravity well, I got to go up 1 more whole kilometer. And that's just, there's a lot. It's a lot to get up here. So we'll see what happens in the near future, though. Maybe I'll end up adding on so that it's like that. It would be kind of cool to have it all unified, but the moon base primary purpose is mining. I started it because of all the ice, but it's been mining the stone also, which has been very, very helpful. So I think that's going to be it for this recording, this episode. Hopefully somebody watches it, and thank you for watching it. Hopefully the sound is better in this one than it was in the last one. I'm gonna listen to it myself and see if I can do some more tweaking, see what else I need to work on. Yeah, leave some feedback if you can. And I'll probably make another video in a couple of days or maybe a week.